Khris Dunn.
What's up, Cayman? Thank you. Hey, so raise your hands. You guys got to look closely if you're speaking tonight. Raise your hands. Come on. Put them up. Your targets. Hey, who came here? Anyone who's not speaking tonight, who came here for a car wreck up on stage? Nobody? You know what this is about. It's about like how many car wrecks are you going to see out of 12 people? My job, first up, is not to be a car wreck. Are you with me? Yeah. Then you got to slow clap me into this and then we'll get started, okay? Slow clap me. Let's go. All right, start the slides. I'm Khris Dunn out of the ATL talking to you about who to hire when your culture sucks. How many of you have perfect cultures? That's what I thought, nobody. I'm here on a mission of mercy to tell you who to hire. Quick stat, 3 out of 4 full-time employees are open to a new job or they're open to looking. What's that tell you? One of two things. Either culture doesn't matter or 75% of our cultures suck. You agree? Yeah. Let's keep going. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Who's to blame for the shortfall of culture? Is it HR? No. Is it everybody else? Yes, exactly. But a funny thing happens. HR is not really into blame, okay? So we start to do what we can with crappy culture. What we do is we start to mix up this stuff and start to promote things. What's that turn into? Do you know? Turns into recruitment marketing, the employment brand. So here's what we do. We buy a ping pong table. We upgrade the furniture, we buy a foosball table and a pool table in that order, and then we start promoting it out there, right? You with me? How many of you have a ping pong table? Liars, more of you than that. What that tells people when they go to our website is, you know what? This company is a beautiful and unique snowflake, and I can prosper there. But the reality is you're more like an energy drink called Chernobyl. You can drink it, but there's an aftertaste and it might be a little bit corrosive if you drop it on the desk. So let's talk about who to hire. But before we do that, let's talk about why we have cultures that are challenged. Because all of you know how to put a culture together. First thing is, how many of you have bad bosses? Bad managers of people? Yell it out if you do. You've got all these people, right? And dysfunctional teams are a result. This picture, Houston Rockets. Their teammate actually hit a game-winning playoff shot. This is how the teammates reacted. You know why? Because they figured out they had to book their trip to Cayman 2 weeks later because they hit that game-winning shot. But the reality is, if you got a bad culture, you don't have to hire superheroes, theme of the show, right? You have to hire superheroes, but there are some things that all your new hires need to survive your less than stellar culture. The first thing is, they've really got to have low sensitivity. You know those earbuds that your employees wear? They really need those. They need like the actual metaphysical version of that because there's politics, there's backbiting, there's all that. They need that a lot. Also, you need to think about how they view rules. You think everything's stable at your company, right? This is like actually the art you have on your website. Everything's great. Everything's great. But actually, these are the people you should hire. That's right. You need low rules people because low rules people can deal with the chaos in your company and they can put solutions together. But if you hire low sensitivity people and low rules people, my experience is you want to make sure they have, and this is the serious part of it, also high detail orientation, all right? Because if you hire low rules people, it'll be a total cluster unless they can actually execute some of the great ideas that they have in mind. One more thing, okay? Who's worried about this guy? We're real worried up north. Hey, so assertiveness. The last thing I'll tell you tonight that those new hires have to survive your less than stellar culture is they've got to have a certain level of assertiveness. Nobody likes an ass or a jerk, but it's better than having a bunch of people that look like this because you know your culture is rough in some ways and you got to be a little bit assertive to make it through. So, as I close out, there's 3 things I want you to remember if you're not really loving your culture. You can still have a great impact as an HR pro, and I believe in everybody in this room, everybody in our industry. But what I would say is you've got to do a great job of matching, which is what the Tinder's all about. Swipe right. And then you've also got to do a great job at employment marketing, okay? So if you've got a freak show, go ahead and tell the world it's a freak show. You'll actually get better matches, and people will think you're authentic. Finally, you got to work on the managers, right? Gallup says 82% of the hirings we make in the manager level are actually misses. So if you really want to impact your culture, you've got to do better than that. To sum it all up, nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody! There's chaos everywhere. You're good enough to fight it. And the 11 people that come after me are experiencing some panic and fear right now. But I'm done. Let's drink up.